Zach cause he done ran off. Saquon against the Rams, dog. I do this for my grams, dog. Protecting my fam, dog. Keep 100 grand, dog. It's part of the plan, dog. Whopping these language, that's why I do not understand, y'all. If I don't lose no toes, I promise I'ma always stand tall. Do not understand, y'all. If I don't lose no toes, I promise I'ma always stand tall. Vibes.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Errol Vibes, and Uppercut Pod is back, man. We back for another video, man. We love bringing y'all this content, boxing content, and 2026 is off to a great start, for boxing. How you feeling today, Scoop? And how you feeling about the overall boxing landscape right now?
Yeah, man, I woke up today, so I'm blessed. The boxing landscape is fucking all over the place. I ain't gonna lie, but I ain't gonna lie, I love this chaos shit though. Like I love this shit. This the shit we've been needing.
Absolutely, man. It's been a crazy year so far with some of the fights that's already happened, some that's being previewed, or some that's coming up, man. So we're gonna talk about one of the biggest names in the sport, Errol Spence Jr. versus another pretty big name in his own right, Tim Tszyu. That fight is reportedly final. Errol Spence and Tim Tszyu are finalizing a deal for a major 154-pound showdown in Australia. It's targeted for mid 2026, around like June or July, and they both are coming off some time off or some losses. Basically, they're not at their best parts of their career right now, not at their peaks. Tim Tszyu is coming off 3 consecutive losses. Errol Spence coming off probably the worst loss in a while, probably one of the worst beatdowns in terms of like people who are looking eye to eye of all time. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of maybe messed up Earl's mental. He's taking 3 years off. This is going and during the summertime is gonna make it officially 3 years. Him versus Terrence was 2023. So it's been 3 years since we've seen Errol Spence, who we thought was a no doubt Hall of Famer, fight. And he's 35, 36 now. He's gonna be a little different. So before we even start, like going into this battle, are you looking to see a prime Errol Spence? What do you think you will see out of Errol before we even talk about Tim?
I don't know, gang. Like I just don't know. Uh, you know, uh,
I
two
know
car
Errol used to
crash,
be one of your favorite
two car
fighters.
crashes later, and I just don't know to be honest. We gonna have to see. I was gonna say, I got to see her out these open workouts. It's, like the media day workouts. I don't even know. I seen a video with him with Ronnie Shields. Didn't see nothing crazy, like nothing to be like, Earl's back, or I didn't see nothing to be like, oh, Earl's ass. Like I
Are you
couldn't
talking
really
about him
tell.
with Charlo?
Yeah, yeah. So I don't really know how he's looking, but I will say the time away from boxing, Earl has definitely got his mental health together and definitely got his physical health as far as like just going on runs and what I'm saying, just getting in shape. I don't know if he's in boxing shape right now, but I will tell you he's in a good space, and that's what you need to be a fighter. You got to be mentally here and you got to be physically there. So I feel like I'm gonna expect the best, Earl Spence he could possibly get to. That's what I'm gonna expect, come fight night.
And let's say he gets this win over Tim Tszyu. Do you think he's gonna continue fighting? How many more years? How many more fights? Like, can you think you can, or you don't know yet until we see and get in the ring?
I don't know. We could have, Earl going like a second legendary run or some shit. Like we never know in boxing, gang. Like, a boxer can look like he's on, toward the end of his career and then switch his trainer, take some time off, has a whole nother second half of his career where he has like fucking 15 fights or some shit. Like, we don't know. Like, uh, if he gets this win over Tim Zudo, man, and he does go on a second run or some shit, I want to see him versus Keith Thurman. Like, that's the fight I want to see. I feel like that was one of the fights we didn't get to see during that era. So, I would love to see it. Keith has been injured a lot. Earl's been injured a lot. It ain't no excuses come that fight. Like, we're both broken down men. So I feel
Hmm.
like that would be the fight to make next. You think Earl's a Hall of Famer? I forgot to even ask you this. Do you think you think he's a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I
He
feel
has
like
he has a better. We talked about it earlier, the Keith Thurman Hall of Fame
yeah.
case, and I said Keith Thurman is basically there. Maybe needs just one or two more wins. With Earl, he got all those wins already. You know, from
Yeah,
2015 to 2022, bro, he was the
literally.
guy.
Yeah, he was the guy.
He was the
And only
guy. I
only
mean,
only reason why like a lot of people make
but
it
him and Bud was the guys. But obviously, PBC had more of the fighters, so Earl was able to get more of the better fights.
all them
Bud
fights that
kind
he
of
wanted. Yeah,
with top rank, he wasn't getting necessarily the fights
yeah,
that he wanted. So Earl already, if you go down the long list of the people Earl Spence has fought and beat, it's a long list. So yeah, I think he's already a Hoffer, no matter what he does for the rest of his career. But
yeah,
he could become a first ballot, like you said, if he go on the second run right here.
yeah, definitely for sure. Like you said, he did fight. I ain't gonna lie. But the difference between, Earl and all these Keith, I said Keith, Earl did this shit one by one though. Like he literally you know how like you have some guys will fight one guy and get three of the belts, and then
Yeah.
now they're this man Earl literally went one by one by one by literally like to get every single belt till he got the bud and he just lost. That shit is crazy to me. To be able to get every single belt, one people don't understand how difficult that is to go through all these fights at these champion guys instead of just fighting one champion and getting all the belts. People don't understand how hard that shit is. So to me, Earl's definitely a Hall of Famer, but I feel like a win over at Keith Thurman is it's like that last Infinity Stone. It's just like, all right, I
I
got
think
him on.
I think Earl's fighting for more first ballot at this point. Like I
Yeah,
said, the resume is already there, and It's the reason in 2023, 2022. He was looked at as a top three pound for pound guy. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
once you kind of reach that peak or pinnacle, you're probably a Hall of Famer. So I'm
yeah,
not really worried about if he'll make it. It's all about okay, well you go down as one of the greatest of all time. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You're a great. Are you gonna go down as one of the greatest? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So yeah, so just to talk about Tim Zoo a little bit, he's coming off, a pretty weird and crazy fight. The first fight against Fundora that he loses a close fight, where he was hurt early. Then he goes and fights the Boogeyman, the supposed Boogeyman at 154, and he gets demolished in 3 rounds. Then he gets stopped by Fundora and not even stopped. He quit on the stool after 7, 8 rounds. So coming off this tumultuous 2 years for Tim Zoo, what chance do you give him to beat Errol Spence? Now we don't know what Earl we're gonna get, but what do you think of Tim Zoo in 2026?
I don't know. I think he's had definitely a tough couple years. Before that Fandora fight, he was the guy. He was this what they call him the soul taker. Like he was really.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, like he was really one of them guys too that are like really just break your will. Like I swear to you, like
yeah,
he was a live dog around before that Fandora shit. I was a big Tim Zoo fan, because it's popping shit. So
of course.
seeing him before that Fandora, bro, he was literally a dog. And I just feel like as fighters, you go through things, and I feel like you go against guys that's on your level, you go against guys that's better than you, and I feel like he just had bad matchups, gang. Like he shouldn't. I don't think he should have ever even gave Fundora that shot, honestly. Because you
Mm.
see what happened to Fundora after that fight. He literally took off, gang. Like
I mean,
where
he was
Fundora
supposed to
where
fight Keith.
Fundora is right now was supposed to be where Timzu is. He was supposed to beat Fundora. The way he was talking, I'm gonna do. If he would have beat him, he probably would have fought. All the guys that Fundora fought. Maybe would have got that Keith fight because he was supposed to fight Keith.
He was
He's
supposed to
literally,
fight Keith, but Keith got
bro.
hurt, so Fundora took
Yeah,
his spot and changed history.
yeah. He's literally Fundora is literally where Timzu is supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think Tensu's a good fighter, but I just don't think he'll beat Keith. I mean, Errol Spence. I don't see it happening. Earl's a dog, bro. Even though he's been through all these car crashes, he's been a layoff. I don't think Earl's going
Hmm.
out sweet. I don't think he's going out sweet. I don't think he'll be the sharpest he's ever been, but I think it's enough to beat a Timzu.
Okay, and my final question is: so Tim Zoo will be getting a pre-fight this month. Actually, he's gonna be kind of getting like a little. He's fighting on Easter this Sunday. Dennis Nurja. He's fighting him basically just to get
His feet
see
wet.
how the
Yeah,
muscles move and
yeah,
feet wet. So Do you think Earl should have did something similar, considering he hasn't fought since 2023? At least since 2023, Tim has fought at least 4 times. So, do you
Yeah.
think Earl should have did something like that, or do you think like what do you think about that? How will that play a factor? Because Tim might be a little more warmer in the ring, if that makes sense.
I don't know. I think it kind of varies on the type fighter you is. Keith Thurman, he had to take a warm up before a Fundora. But then you had Errol Spence after Fundora's win get in the ring trying to fight the fucking top guy. And every fighter is different. I guess it just depends on the type of fighter you is. Some fighters understand, okay, I'm old. Let me get my feet wet. I've been out for a while. Let me get warm. Charlo even did it. Shit,
Mm-hmm.
Charlo did it with cornflake. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's nothing wrong with that to get your feet wet. Let me just get that clear. I just think Earl is such a dog. He don't give a fuck about that kind of shit. Like people forget, like this guy Earl. Earl's a fucking dog. Like he got beat up the bud, cool. But let's talk about before that. He was on a wrecking spree, gang. Like, bro, really breaking these guys, gang. I'm talking about really,
If you
bro.
break it
Don't
down,
even get me started on that Lamont Peterson shit. Like he was literally breaking all of these guys. Like breaking Kell broke him. Like broke all these guys, man. I just think Keith, that's just who he is, gang. I'm just a dog. I don't give a fuck about no tune-up fight. All I know is you got the belt. I gotta fight you. We gotta fight. Simple. I just think that's how he's wired, gang. Like I just think he's the big fish for a reason. He wants these top guys. He doesn't give a fuck about no tune-up. I don't see him taking a tune-up though. I see him going in there and fighting Tim Tszyu and beating him. That's how I see the fight. It's no
what's the man
I
from?
don't I don't I don't see nothing around it. I just see that.
I'm looking at it now. Errol Spence from 2016. He fought former champion Chris Algieri. He fought another guy in 2016. 2017, he beat Kell Brook for the IBF. He defended against Lamont Peterson. He defended against Mikey Garcia. He beat
Dog,
Sean Porter,
dog,
Danny Garcia,
dog,
Ugas,
dog,
like Carlos Ocampo in between. Like
dog.
these are all solid great fighters. That Errol beat. So I think he's a Hall of
Champions,
Famer. We can't
champions,
forget about his run. And if he shows any form in that, I'd say if he's 90% of what he used to be, I think he'll get it done against Tim Tszyu. I guess it's kind of time to pick who we think is going to win. We'll probably touch on it as it gets closer as well. We're kind of 3 months away, but I'm kind of leaning Spence just because, yeah, he's been through a lot with the car crashes, even the eye injury. You can't even forget about that. But the
yeah,
time off, and I think, getting with a new trainer, someone who's I believe he likes more and likes being around more. You wouldn't have left your previous one if that wasn't the case, right?
yeah,
So I think he has a new trainer around him and he's rejuvenized. He's ready to get it started. I think Earl Spence comes away with the W.
yeah. I like Spencer. I think it's a 55-45. That extra 5% could be dictated on what kind of shape that Earl is in, depending on that. If Earl could get back in that dog shape that he was in when he was stopping these guys and he was breaking these guys' will, you know what I'm saying? I think that we could possibly see a stoppage. Think about it. We get old Earl against a Timzu. Come on, you can't tell me Earl hasn't been in front of someone just like a Timzu. He's fought these champions since 2016, gang.
Mm-hmm.
Timzu's only been in front of one champion, Tony Harrison.
Two.
That's it. Two. Tony Harrison and who? Fundora.
And Murtazalev.
What is that? But think about think
But
about
he
the
couldn't
think
compete
about the
with
level of
with
champions that Earl
yeah.
fought compared to him. You got Danny Garcia's, you got the Sean Porters, Bud Crawford's. Even though he lost that, like he's been in front of these guys, so he knows how it feels. So I would definitely lean toward Earl Spence. But let me ask you this one question before we get out of here, right? Right. If he wins and he beats the Tim Tszyu, he takes care of business. What do you feel like the fight is to be made next? What do you feel like is the next fight for Earl Spence after he takes care of a Tim Tszyu? What do you think he spins off after that?
I think it's all dependent for real on what his goals are. You know what I'm saying? Are you trying to become a world champ again, or are you just trying
That's
to
his
make some more
plans.
money?
That's his plans. He says it in multiple interviews. The big fish is at 154 now. I want all these guys. That's what he says. So he wants to be a champion. Where do you think he spins off after? I guess getting his feet wet against Timzu. Where do you see him? Where do you see him spinning off to? Boots? Because that would be fucking crazy. I never thought in a million years I'd see a fucking Boots versus a fucking Aerosmith. That is
I
fucking crazy.
think Earl will avoid Boots, or I'm not gonna say avoid, but he's not gonna look towards a Boots right
Yeah.
away. Like especially after only a Tim Zoo, you need kind of a step up. Like I said, it's a pecking order. So I think he may go after a Josh Kelly, a Murder Zalev. You know, one of these former champions or like current champions. A Charlo. You know,
Azayas.
Zayas. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I think he'll go after someone like that. Uh, if he's continuing that, if you're just fighting for like legacy and name, you gotta go either Keith Thurman or what's the bro name? Like someone from your previous era. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I would say either Keith Thurman or I just said him
Charlo.
too.
Charlo. It,
Charlo.
Luke, it had to
Yeah,
be
Charlo.
Charlo. Yeah. Simple. Yeah.
Like fight someone who during your prime, other people are saying, "Yo, that'd be a great fight." We get them late, yeah, but never late. Better late than never. So I
Yeah.
would I would say go that route if you're not trying to be a champ. Go this route if you're trying to be a champ.
For sure. Also shout out to Spence, man. We big fans over here at the Uppercut Pod, bro. We definitely been watching bro for the longest. Actually, I think bro has one of our most popular vids. So yeah, y'all can tell we definitely big Earl Spence fans over here, man. Again, let us know what y'all want us to talk about next, man. Our DMs is open, our comments is open. We on every social media. Any ideas y'all got? Anything y'all want to see, bro? We people for the fans, man. So anything y'all want to see, let us know. We'll talk about it. We'll come up here. If anybody wants to come on here, bro, y'all can just shoot our DMs. People be thinking that we don't want people up here, bro. Text us, bro. You can hop right on here. Just make sure you just communicating with us. If you ever wanted to come up here and talk about stuff. But yeah, anything you gotta say before we get out of here, bro?
Ah man, great episode. Looking forward to the next one for sure.
All right, y'all. Until next time. Love y'all.
Yes, sir. We out.